is I literally just steal everybody I encounter, bring them in here, try to put them in a nice-ish prison, try to give them good-ish food, and like tell them about the promise of being part of like a massive fucking colony nation, essentially, that they can like potentially get their own room, even though I've got so many fucking people, and they could probably get nuzzled by little animals and have like day jobs and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, if all's going well, we can have some luxuries. You know what I'd like to get eventually is some fucking luxuries. On the 3 map locations we've had so far with this colony, I haven't had the ability to have like statues or like anything surplus kind of thing and decorative. You fucking wish, Zaggle. You're ravenously hungry, mate. Pumpkin's gonna put you... Actually, you got Pumpkin and Kimmy right here. You fucked up, mate. You are going to hospital. Yeah, both Kimmy and Pumpkin are kind of like tank, so like, I'm not too sure about Zaggle, but I've got him into the colony at least once, so yeah, too easy. Let's get Kimmy to run him down. I also, out of interest, we lost Black and we lost Clear the other week too, and Ida. 3 like really like sad like losses as well. Because Clear and Ida are super tank shooters, so I don't have those anymore, which is a shame because I could always rely on Clear to like get that shot kind of thing, or Ida. She was always just like somewhere in the base, you know, and she always would get that last shot and like save everything kind of thing. So I kind of hate that she's gone. But Black was a bit of a surprise because I also realized like long after the fact that I have like, you know, Kanye could have been, you know, I have a follower that goes by Black Kanye, and I'm like, I didn't realize this whole time I could have the character Black represent them in game, and now they're dead. So now I feel bad about it because I'm like, I realized too late that they could have been the colonist for that member, and I'm like, yeah, after the fact, it doesn't really help that much, unfortunately. Well, I gave it a try and really enjoyed RimWorld. So show me things like a week ago. Oh, it's all good, Clutch. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Because, yeah, depending on how you're playing and stuff like that, there's a million different ways to play RimWorld and enjoy it and stuff. So, yeah, I'm glad that it was helpful. I'm pretty sure I was probably going through, like, serious colony disaster at the time that I was like giving you any like helpful advice and stuff like that, so I can't believe that I was helpful in amongst like dealing with my people trying to kill each other. Like, I sort of do think that I would have been, but you know, it's just been nuts with my colony for like a while, so the thought that I was able to have like a helpful conversation and in amongst that shit is mind-blowing to myself, because like it's almost like a blur to me at this point, like just the things that have been happening with my RimWorld colony. I have been losing sleep over the shit that they've been doing, like for real. Definitely overwhelming, lol. I tried building into the mountain. Oh yeah, to be honest, digging it out took so long and I wasn't ready for winter. I think the hardest part is you can't ever really be ready for winter unless like you've played it a few times and you kind of know what's coming depending on like the temperatures of the location you're at. Like if you know that you're going to come into winter pretty quickly, like the first thing you could probably do is build a very small shelter and then like make sure you have like a stockpile, try to grow a little bit of food, try to harvest everything that's available, like berries and stuff that wild grows and stuff. And just like, yeah, try to stockpile your food. Like the other thing too is if you don't have a lot of colonists, if you're just starting and stuff, like you're also going to have the issue of like tantrums causing people to not be useful. And when you don't have a lot of people, you kind of like suddenly don't have anybody doing anything around colony. It can be really like difficult, you know, to get anything done. Whereas like me, I've got like 40 people per category, give or take, realistically, because there's some overlap in there. So I can pretty much guarantee like if 10 people are down, I've still got about 30 people able to do something. And if I was dividing that between day and night, I probably have like 20 people during the day and 10 people at night available to do something. So I've always got stuff going on. Yeah, definitely overwhelming. Oh, I read that bit. Not asleep. Look, it's bound to happen. My colony was like, I was like dealing with like a colony collapse situation. Essentially that, and one of the playthroughs I tried to salvage was like 1/3 of my colony died. So we went back and we're trying to fix that at the moment. Also, we'll get ads at the moment, just as a heads up. They're only once an hour, so, you know, if you guys can just like, I don't know, hang 10 for like 3 minutes, they'll be gone. I was living off berries and forgot I could grow potatoes. Oh yeah. So I got turbo. Nice. The potatoes and stuff. So if you're trying to grow a lot of food quickly, it depends. Like if you've got somebody that's able to cook, like berries and other stuff are great. If you want really fast food for that first year, try growing rice. It's not super nutritional, right? And they do not really like eating it raw. Unlike berries, they'll kind of semi-tolerate it, right? But you'll get more food quicker, which, you know, if you've got somebody that can cook, they'll spend a little bit of time indoors over winter cooking that shit up and making sure everybody's got food and stuff. So you'll get more better food from it, you know. So there's that. Potatoes are really good though. They just take a little bit longer to grow. They are a little bit more resistant to cold though. Or at least I find mine are. Like, I forgot that this location doesn't snow. Whereas the last 2 locations I had, my first location snowed in winter and my second location was permanent summer. So we had the option to grow all year round, except we just didn't get to stay there for like more than a couple of months. So I lost the opportunity to grow a shit ton of food there because my map glitched out. But whereas here, it doesn't snow, it gets cold, it's not ideal weather to grow, but apparently I can still grow throughout winter. So I can get a shit ton of food if I just leave my crops growing. I didn't know that at all. So if I had known that, we probably could have done a lot better over like the couple of months leading up into this, you know? But that's also just learning what map you're on and dealing with like the issues that come with that, which I have now dealt with. Plus I also did not intend to have 260 people, and we're down to like 248 at the moment. But like I moved here with 180 odd, so I wasn't expecting to have like 200 plus people, or like even higher than that. I think as soon as we got here we started having like 230 and shit, so it went up a lot very quickly here. It's really cool. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of this stuff is just stuff that you learn from playing RimWorld over time. And the thing is, you got to play over and over again. Not like over and over again, but you got to give it a few like fucking goes. Play it a few different ways. Try out different things. Like, I realized at one point I had 2 higher skilled cooking tasks leveled in my, or left in my cooking benches and shit. So when my people were coming to cook, they weren't skilled enough to cook the things at those benches, so they weren't cooking. So I had to add things like simple meals or whatever so that people would actually cook. Where the fuck are you in here, mate? I clicked on you. Hold on. Green. I need to see your schedule. I wanted to ask, when you move, do you bring everyone or do you ship out like half the people? Like Colony City is just its own thing. So generally speaking, when I move base, I prefer to... Your daytime, that's your own fault, mate. I prefer to send out like a few small fleets of caravans. Just give me a second. There's an unknown threat for a master sniper rifle. I don't think that that's worth it. I am going to keep that available at the moment because I don't have food to get out to it. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that one. But if we do get to the point where we have like a shit ton of resources and it's still available, maybe I'll go to it. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so generally speaking, I send out smaller caravans of like about 20 people. Anything more than 20 people and the caravan does not want to go most times, like I've tried 30 and stuff, and sometimes it just glitches out and will not leave. Or it's rolling too many people having tantrums at on and off times because they can't sleep and stuff. So, yeah, I normally send out like probably a few little fleets of like 10 to 15 people, right? And I send them to the new location, and I normally send like people that can do a lot of construction. Right, that's what I did here, as I initially sent out the initial kind of fleet of construction people ahead of everybody else so that we could start getting shit built, like the pen, right? We needed this area built, so where's my pen marker? It's down here. So that I could enclose my animals in here as the first priority, because I had a lot of animals coming for this. This was a major move. We moved the whole colony for this. I had to abandon stuff. I didn't have enough animals to cart everything at once, right? This was a emergency move to fix the game so I could keep playing, right? Because the last tile I was on was glitched out from the 1.5 update, and it was just progressively slowing down to a point where we got to like slideshowy at one point. And as soon as I moved from it, it was fine. So it was just that tile kind of got corrupted. And I also lost my whole ability to see like terrain and background and shit. But the first location though, we spent probably months moving, like sending caravans back and forth so I could keep the animals and just bring back a couple of people that didn't like being here, that were like mostly useless. And then they'd collect more stuff and then send it out until everything was over at the new location. So that's usually how I do it, is a lot of back and forth caravans until all my resources are as much as I want as at the new location. And then the rest of the people come in like the last caravan or two kind of thing, just spread out as just mostly people walking instead of with animals. And they'll just carry whatever they can carry and stuff. Do you mind showing off your base and explaining what's going on in what area? Yeah, I could do that. So I'll just do a full zoom out so everybody can kind of like see everything and get my ass out of the way. But yeah, I'll show everything, and then I'll like go into like areas and stuff so you guys can actually see what stuff is and what's going on and whatnot. So this is the full base, basically. So pretty much starting up here, I've got a few little grow rooms that are being enclosed once I've got all the materials and stuff to enclose these, so that I'll have year-round grow rooms, multiples of them. I've got the same thing at the bottom of the map as well. I've got basically a shit ton of beds. They're all the same the whole way down, so I can show you like this and you'll know what's going on the whole way down. But basically I'm trying to make it that everybody has a bed, at least a double bed, so couples can shack up and we can save some bedroom space. I do try to have at least this much space for them. I can't really allocate much more because it takes up too much of the map, but this is enough to give everybody their own room. Eventually I can put in additional furniture like a bedside table, lamps, whatever, right? So that they have like some luxuries, like maybe a statue or something to pretty it up kind of thing. I normally go with carpets, but this place has a shit ton of limestone, so I just did limestone floors, everything. I did try to section this off so that these are like more like corridors. You can kind of see clearer here. You can see it, there's a corridor coming down here. I think they're, hold on. The rooms themselves, yeah, 3x4. So that's the size that I've got. I prefer to have them like a little bit bigger than that, like maybe a 4x4 or about that. But I can't have that here because I've got like 240 people. But if it was a regular situation, they would have a little bit bigger room each, and they'd have like some decorations and, you know, like a drawer at the end of the thing and bedside tables and lights and chairs and all sorts of shit, right? It'd be their own kind of like little space. We don't get that luxury because I have too many people. But yeah, I've got this like tunneling system thing coming through here. Do you notice like corridor? And the point for that is that I can put heaters and or any kind of like air conditioning and stuff like that to help better climate control the rooms. I don't have vents installed yet, but I will eventually, so that the rooms will be heated. So when it ends up being like summer or winter, like we can just, it's a little bit easier probably on, yeah, this one. So during summer or winter, I will fire up like burners and stuff like that, and it will make this whole corridor warm, which will make the rooms a little bit warm, which should stop hypothermia. I also have an allowance for like the animals to come and sleep inside, some animals. I wish I could like specify a little bit easier. If I didn't have so many animals, I could say like I could name just panthers or just cats or something like that to be in here. But beds kind of go to any animal, so yeah, that's the thing. So this is why this is dirty in here, because I get all manners of like thrumbos and yaks and chickens and all sorts of shit come inside. So I don't like that, but it works for the moment to stop the animals from dying of hypothermia as well. They can get into somewhere warm. I've got multiple grow rooms. At the moment, I'm building this one up. The reason why I've split it in half is as a fire break. So you only really need like one wall width for it. And as long as it's stone, you can have a fire break. So basically, if a pyromaniac comes in here and sets this on fire, or if I get a electrical zap and this room starts to catch fire, my colonists will want to come in here and try to put it out, but it will be dangerous for them. And it will start collapsing the roof, and it'll be superheated and all sorts of stuff. So I have got fire foam poppers in here to help alleviate my crops going on fire again, because that's happened. But yeah, generally breaking apart will help you with shit catching fire and blight as well. Your crops will get blight. And my colonists traditionally do not want to cut that shit unless I sit here and manually ask them to. So it's relieving like the amount of like crops spreading. Like out here, if I get blight out here, like the crops are just mostly done. I would have to send somebody out to change over the type of crop to get that shit cut. And they may not even cut it. I'd probably have to do it manually. So this whole area outside might go kind of thing if I get blight, which I'm kind of expecting to get blight because I have so many crops at the moment. But yeah, that's a legitimate risk, but I'm taking that risk because I need food in my colony more than anything right now. So I'm risking that. I had multiple grow rooms here also divided off, but I'm getting rid of that and I'm just keeping a very small section of the most fertile area that I can kind of section off. So this fertile area will grow multiple times faster than the normal area. So I might get 2 or 3 crops in this spot here versus maybe 1 or 2 crops here, you know? So it's going to be more worth my time to manage that and power that than to have like all this extra area, which, you know, they'll harvest at like random times and stuff. This is my rec room / dining hall, entertainment kind of area. So it's luxuriously spacious because it's fucking massive, as you guys can see. Like, I'm sure most of you guys only use like one of these in like a specific room at a time. But eventually I'll have it all decked out. We'll have all the couches and stuff down here. I'll get a few of these TVs facing in all 4 directions so everybody gets like good TV access. Like they've got some tables and stuff like that. So, you know, if people got tables, it's their fault if they're not eating in them. They can also come and party in here. They can have weddings. We have a lot of weddings where this whole place is just packed. But multiple different kinds of entertainment to make sure that my people have something to do recreationally because they're not allowed drugs in my colony. So that keeps them happy. I also have a psychic emanator in this space to make them feel a little bit happier. So if I click on orange, he's running through here. He's got the psychic emanator soothe, is giving him +5 buff. So he's very happy to be in here. It's luxuriously comfortable. It's impressive rec room, impressive dining room, spacious interior. His recreation's satisfied and he's also feeling good in this area and stuff. So that's all perks. If I can get some fucking statues, it's going to be like, they're just going to be unbelievably impressive rec room and shit like that. That's what it ends up being. That's what I'm aiming for, but I don't have that yet. I have got storage areas. I have storage on the ground. I also have storage on the shelves. I prefer storage on the ground because I have the mod deep stacks, which allows anything to stack up to 10,000 in one tile. So that generally works really well for me. However, I have noticed that the wider community of the internet cannot possibly stand my floor storage. So I put some storage in and honestly, I hate it. I really do, because when I go to click on something, I click on the fucking table and then I click on the item. So at some point I may go back to floor storage and everybody's just gonna have to deal with it. But yeah, you can stack like 3 things per tile on it, basically. So you can also determine what you want on that storage and stuff. So that helps. But I've got additional storage on the floor because a lot of my animals are trained to haul. And so what they'll do is they'll come in here and they'll put it on the ground. And then somebody, when they go to cook, will come in and pick it up and they'll put it back onto like a shelf and stuff. So that allows me to have extra room for when I have a lot of crops, which I do not have at the moment. I have a fair bit, but I do not have like surplus. So it should be full. Like it should be chocked up on the ground and everything, but it's the best we can. But I've got air conditioners and stuff like that to keep these rooms cold, if not frozen, if I can. Like, you probably can't see it behind my ass, but it says minus 13 degrees in this room. So everything should be, if I click on some rice, fresh frozen. So if I have a power outage or summer happens, the temperature will rise, and this air conditioner being set at minus 39 degrees will counteract whatever is going on with the temperature outside. So hopefully if we have, say, like a heat wave or something like that, I may have to increase that a little bit to compensate for the higher temperature so that things still stay refrigerated, if not frozen. Like in summer, most things are just refrigerated because the room isn't cold enough, or if I have any kind of like, electrical issues or whatever, I may lose like frozen refrigeration for a little bit. I'll still have refrigeration and it's indoors, so it's not spoiling and stuff, but you know, it's not frozen. It's not going to last for like literal years versus like it'll perish eventually if it's not frozen kind of thing, you know. Although frozen can spoil eggs, so if you happen to put fertile eggs in the fridge, the temperature will destroy them. So I should only have that shouldn't be fertile. I have to change all these benches up in here. Hold on. Not you, mate. Can I just change the fucking storage on this? I don't know if it's going to do it to all of them. I changed it at one point to raw food. I changed it because we needed food more than anything, but they're not supposed to be storing fertile in here. I don't know. I'll probably have to go through and like change all that, or if I actually grab this one, go unlink settings, unlink all settings. They should hopefully be all on this one's settings now. Let's have a quick look. Let's look at this bench here. Can't guarantee it's gonna be it. I'm only just fucking around with these benches, really. No, they look like they got it. Cool. Okay, well they're fixed up. Let me turn the other side on the left as well. Yeah, I did, because they're all the same up here. Up here it's all food and medical, like perishable medical stuff. So it's fine for all up here to be this. If I had the other benches in here where I had wood being stored near the stoves and stuff, then that would be a problem. Like here's one, but it wasn't selected. So this one stores wood for the fueled stoves. So like stuff like that can be useful. You can also choose to put shelves that have like, say, leathers and wools next to, say, a tailoring bench, and that can speed up production because they literally have the materials right next to the thing. That's the point of the fuel stove here. I just don't have a lot of spare wood, so that's why all mine are turned off, and we just have electrics running at the moment because I have electricity. So unless I have a power outage, we should have food getting cooked around the clock because I have day and nighttime colonists moving around, so we should be fine with that. But yeah, I've got like my butchering and cooking station. I didn't want these together because these often dirty the floor and stuff like that and have a risk of food poisoning being in the same room, but I didn't have much of a choice. I needed to put shit places urgently when we got here, so I'm fixing that now. We're moving that. I'll show you that in a bit. But yeah, I've also got all my geothermals I've enclosed because my people like to destroy the most expensive things or the most valuable things on the map. So in this case, electricity and the geothermals cost like 300 and something steel to make one of these. So whenever somebody has a tantrum, they want to go and break it. So we put walls around it. That stops that shit. Just make sure you don't put a roof on it, because if you put a roof on it, the what do you call it? The geothermal thing will overheat and then it will break, because it obviously like overheated and stuff. So there's that. All the bedrooms are still the same. This is my hospital. It's really hard to see. I'm sorry for anybody that's looking at this, and I've got all the tiles. I want to make the floor, but I don't have the materials to make the floor. But I don't want to lose what I'm doing, because I want to have, for the pattern's sake, I want to have white sterile tile in the center square here. And then all around it, I want this grey concrete or steel flooring or whatever I've got, which both of them should help for cleanliness of the room, because sterile tile helps with cleanliness, and so does, I think this is steel tile as well. Both of them have like a benefit for like the flooring, keeping it clean. They're quick to clean and they're bonus cleanliness for medical settings and stuff. So sterile tile is better for research areas. It's like faster research, whereas the steel tile is better for medical and I think cooking. So it will mean less food poisoning, less infection in your hospitals, stuff like that kind of thing. So that shit's good. I've also got all of my steel hospital beds, and I've got their vitals monitors popped beside them, because one can do 2 beds, so I can kind of save a bit of metal with that. But it just increases like the like medical tending kind of thing to them. It doesn't like increase the medical tending of like the person working on them, but it like lessens their chance of like I don't know, increases their chance of healing, I guess. I don't know how best to say it, but yeah, putting these around the place do help. Obviously making the hospital pretty and nice and all that also helps. I have got a psychic emanator in here too, so when people are stuck in hospital, they feel okay, they feel a little bit happier as well. These things are hard to come by. I brought those into the game because I'm like, I know what my people are like. I had 5, I think we've got 3 now. So my people destroyed them too. They really like destroying them. So it's, if you catch somebody going off to destroy something, just go see what they're trying to destroy, because they'll often like, you know, they'll get rid of it. Yeah, no, it's not a modded item. It is part of the core game. It's just that it's like a really, really rare quest thing that you'd get. Like, you know how with my quest that I had before, I have the chance to get a sniper rifle or masterwork quality? It would be like that. Like I had, sorry, I may have let that one lapse. I had a quest this had the option for the Vanomatic power cell, which is a power cell that's automatically powering itself. So it doesn't need solar, it doesn't need geothermal, it doesn't need windmill, none of that. It just generates electricity. However, they are generally pretty volatile and they will explode occasionally. However, it just damages shit in your area, catches on fire and stuff like that. It itself will stay. I like them. I usually get as many as I fucking can because it's just free power and I don't need as many like power producing items around my base. And it also means that in the event of something blowing up, I immediately start charging more electricity and saving electricity and stuff like that. So I go for those as well. But that's basically what the psychic emanators are all about. Is there like a special rarer option that you might get as a reward kind of thing. I've got my comms console up here for the moment. I will move that down lower later, but this allows me to call for allies and also any passing by ships and stuff like that that might be passing over my colony, that I can call for like supplies and resources. Allies I can call to either help come fight, or I can ask them to bring traders, which I've currently asked for traders to come through my base. If you're calling in traders, do check to make sure that your traders actually like each other, because if they don't like each other, they'll fight each other if they're on the same map. And when 1.5 updated, that was a problem that I suddenly had, because I previously used to just bring all 4 in and they hated each other. And all of a sudden, I'd bring in all 4 of my allies and they'd murder each other, so I wouldn't get any fucking trading going. So that was a little bit of a change, but that's fine. I've also got additional recreation stuff hidden around the map, like the telescopes here. And over here I've got like the wooden horseshoes. I've also got hoops somewhere as well. They should be just above where Linda is, I'm pretty sure. So I'll just save that in case she dies. Got horse pins. Where is the hoops? I saw somebody was playing that before. Like over here somewhere. I've got them like scattered around. Like if I was to zoom out and pull up, I have heaps of them around the place. But yeah, I saw somebody playing on the hoops one earlier. If I spot it around the map, I'll show you what it is. But the hoops one, I don't think you can make. I think you get that. Like you could buy that from traders. Some of these things you can also just buy from traders too. Like things that make people happy and stuff, recreation stuff. Linda's gonna die, just a heads up. She's got death in 10 hours and she's not entitled to medicine, so good luck, Linda. Swift, I don't know. I hope you heal, I guess. I don't know. Awkward. I knew she'd get in a battle eventually. That's why she doesn't have healing, is she keeps doing that. My traders have arrived. Oh, these are something you buy from a trader too, or get from a gift, because you can't build them. You're doing fire starting 3, I'm not worried about that. I'll get to my traders in a moment. Those two should be fine. Where the fuck was I? I was up here. So this is my prison as well. I've got half of it's currently a hospital because I have all of my masterworks, excellence, legendaries in my prison. So in between having prisoners, I can use it temporarily as a hospital. Just show me a prolix. I gotta go town. Leave a lurk for you. No worries, Clutch. So have an awesome stream. I will. I'll be here. And I'll catch you next time. So I've also got like batteries and stuff enclosed as well. Just because they're unsightly and my colonists do not like the look of them. So that's the reason why I've got those enclosed. I also have pet hospitals as close to the center of my map as possible so that I can see when an animal is